Hi, everyone. Glad you could join us today at Schoch Dairy and Creamery. I'm Casey Schoch, and we are going to go all over the farm today and see all different kinds of cows. We're going to learn the process of milk going from cow to the bottle. Some of the classrooms have milk that they get to try at the end of the tour. So that's milk that we processed here on our farm, and it came from all of our beautiful milk cows. Um, I live on this farm with my family. We milk about 60 milk cows, and we have about 50 young cows that are waiting to become milk cows. We will I'm going to start by showing you some of these. These are babies, even though they're pretty big. These are about 3 to 4 month old cows. They are living in a group area. They're learning how to get along with other cows. They're learning how to compete for feed. They're having, they have a good time. They make friends with each other. And these cows will stay together as they progress through the different areas of our farm until they become milk cows. Um, a cow has her first baby at 2 years old, and that's when she starts producing milk. So we raise all the girls on the farm for the first 2 years until they're ready to have their first baby and join our milking herd. These two cows, this is a brown Swiss. We have 4 different breeds of cows on our dairy farm. We have brown Swiss, milking shorthorn, Holstein, and Jersey. And each of those cows makes their milk fat and milk content is a little different. Their milk tastes different from each breed, but we mix all of ours together and it gives it a really delicious, sweet, creamy taste. You'll notice it when you get to try the milk. Um, we have our own processing on the farm, so people drive right out to our farm to purchase their milk. You're welcome to do that with your families. You can come out and visit with the cows and buy some milk and walk around and ask us questions and find out what it's like to be on a dairy farm. Dairy farms take a lot of work. You'll see a lot of people around today as we're walking around. Um, we have to be with the cows every day. They're milked twice a day. So you can't leave. Someone has to be here to take care of them all the time. But we love our girls and we're happy to take care of them and make sure they're living a good, healthy, happy life. Should we go on to the milk parlor? Maybe head that way? Do you, yeah, do you have any questions before we move on?
So it looks like we do have a question. It is, what's your favorite breed of cow?
I love all cows, but my very favorite breed are the brown Swiss. My father-in-law was from Switzerland, and so we got one just for him, and we grew to love them. And I would say probably about half of our herd is brown Swiss now. They're kind of the big, bossy leaders of the group. They have real big personalities, and that's what I love about the brown Swiss cows. I think they're just gorgeous. We have a baby brown Swiss. I'm not sure if we'll be able to show it to you, but she was just born a few days ago, and they're the cutest things you've ever seen. Any other questions? We're going to transition our way to the milking parlor and see if we can catch the tail end of milking. My son does the morning milking, so he might be finished already and we might just get to see the wash up, but I want to show you where the cows come in twice a day to get milked. Okay. Yeah, was like, oh, sounds like he's in wash up mode, but we'll just take a peek around the corner so you can see the parlor setup. So we milk 7 cows at a time. They come in and they stand. They're in an elevated barn. They stand up on the platform, which makes it much easier to be able to wash their udder and milk them. And then we have automatic takeoffs on our milking system. So it takes about 5 minutes to milk each cow out. Cows make about 3 to 5 gallons a day. We have our little chalkboard of information for visitors who stop by the farm. Um, we milk them twice a day, early in the morning and in the evening. And then we feed them right after milking so that they get to go as soon as they're done. They know there's fresh feed waiting for them out in the barn. And so they're happy to get done milking. And they head out to the barn and eat breakfast. And then in the evening when we milk, they head out and eat dinner. The room next door is our milk house. That's where all the milk goes after we're finished milking. We have a big 3,000 gallon milk tank inside. It's refrigerated and it holds all the milk from the cows until we're ready to do our processing. So that milk tank has a big paddle inside and it keeps the milk moving and it keeps it icy cold. And we do 4 milkings before we're ready to process milk in our creamery. The milk tank is inspected and they make sure that the temperature stays correct so that the milk is fresh and ready to use when we are ready to bottle in the creamery. Does anybody have any questions about the milking parlor or the cows being milked?
We do have a couple questions. Some of them are all about the milking parlor, but we have one. We have a class asking if they will be able to see Juno because they actually are part of the Adopt a Calf program.
She's inside the barn, and so we'll try and go take a quick peek of Juno. Maybe at the end. We found that we didn't have a great signal when we went inside where all the babies were. So we'll try really hard at the end. Juno's a cutie.
We have another question that is, how are the calves fed?
So the calves, when they're born, they stay with their mama for the first week and they will just nurse off their mama. After that week, mom goes back to the milking herd and baby goes up to our nursery area and we bring milk to baby. So we'll either bring her a bottle of milk, or we will bring, after they've been drinking out of a bottle for a few days, we'll train them to drink out of a bucket. So twice a day, we will bring them milk from the moms, and they will get milk for their first 3 months. While they're drinking that milk, we're also introducing hay and grain, and they're learning how to eat hay and grain so that when we wean them from the milk, they'll be good at eating hay and grain, and then they move off to the next group. These are some of our calf barn calves. They're about 5 months old. You can tell they're getting kind of big. This is Skittle. This red one is Skittle. She's a Jersey. And this is Queenie. She's a Holstein. And so these cows were all born about the same time. They're the same age. And so it's like your classes at school. It's like these are the 4th graders and they all stay together. And they will. So you'll always, even when they become older and they're milk cows, they've made friendships as kids. So you'll see them together when they become older milk cows too. And as you can tell, our cows are very friendly. They get a lot of love and attention. Customers come out to the farm and they pet them and visit with them. And we spend a lot of time with them too. So they're fun to be around. Any other questions?
Yeah, so it looks like we have some, we have one that says, are all cows from Switzerland?
No, not all cows are not from Switzerland. They're all from different regions in the world. Some are from um, Jersey or from the Jersey Isle. They came from different parts of the land, but of the world. But brown Swiss, the ones from Switzerland, just happen to be my favorite ones.
We have another one that says, what type of milk do you produce?
Um, we produce whole milk. That's what our cows make. And then we use that whole milk to make flavored milks. We make eggnog, we make chocolate milk, we make strawberry milk in the summer. Um, but all of our milk and all of our flavored milks are whole milk from our cows, which means we don't take any of the fat out. It stays in the milk.
All right, I'll have one last question. Do you milk the cows or just the machines?
The milking is not done by hand. The milking is all done by machines. And the machines have a vacuum and a pulsation in the machine that is very gentle on the cow's udder. And it makes it really easy to milk. If you have milked by hand, I, I've I've tried to milk by hand and it's very difficult. The cows actually prefer the machine. So we're showing you this crossover. This is the crossover from the milk parlor to our creamery facility, and that's how the milk is pumped across into the creamery where we do all the processing of our milk. So it goes from the cow to the tank and then pumped across to our pasteurizing vat. And we are going to walk around and take a peek in the creamery and see what's happening in there right now. Today is a bottling day, so we're getting ready to do some pasteurizing and bottling. I do have time for other questions if you have anything else.
Yeah, so we have one that asks, do cows bite?
They don't really bite. Cows don't have any teeth on the top. They're all gums. They have big molars in the back for grinding their food, but they don't have any teeth on the top, so they can't really bite you like a horse can. They will lick you to death, though. They have long tongues and they like to lick.
We have one more that says, do brown cows make chocolate milk?
I wish it was that simple. Brown cows do not make chocolate milk. They make creamy milk, though, which turns into delicious chocolate milk, but we have to add some chocolate and other ingredients to make the chocolate milk. That's our cold water tank. So that's how we cool the milk after we've heated it and pasteurized it. That's like an ice water tank. Might be, yeah. As you can see, today is a bottling day. We have pasteurized, which I don't know if you can see our big pasteurizing vat. It's a 200-gallon vat and it heats the milk up. And then when it reaches a certain temperature, we hold it there for 30 minutes and then it's quickly cooled down and sent over to our bottle filling machine. And my son Jake's going to put some bottles on and you can see how they fill as they go around. This machinery is all machinery from about the 1950s that my husband refurbished for our processing facility, and it works great. So it goes around kind of like a merry-go-round style, and it fills the bottles, and then it puts a cap on at the end of bottling so that the bottles are stamped. Then we put a date on each bottle, and the milk is about a 2-week sell-by date. And we fill it up in our crates. We put it in our walk-in refrigerator, And then customers drive out to the farm and they can purchase the milk. We bottle about 2,400 bottles a week. We wash the bottles, people pay a deposit, and then they return the bottles and we reuse them. So it's a great system. It works really well for us, for our small herd. And people can come out and buy the milk from the cows that were just being milked this morning. So it's really fresh. 2 times a week, we do a flavor. So after we're finished bottling white, the second batch we'll pump over, we'll add ingredients to make chocolate milk, and then we'll pasteurize that and bottle it. Or this time of year, we're doing eggnog. So we'll add the ingredients for eggnog and we'll do that. The bottling is the shortest piece. The longest part of this whole process is the wash up of all the equipment, making sure it's sanitized and taken care of and ready for the next time we use it. So bottling goes pretty fast, as you can see. Jake's going to take that stack over to the walk-in creamery or the walk-in cooler and put it in there. And these bottles just go around and get filled up.
We have some people wondering why he was checking the bottom of the cartons.
He lifts them up because the bottles go through a dishwasher type thing. And we just always, if there's any residue or anything, it usually will stick to the bottom of a bottle. So it's just kind of for quality assurance that it doesn't have anything, a little fleck or a little piece of something that's in it. So he always looks at the bottom to make sure it's all clear and good.
We have another question. Do you sell your milk around the world?
I wish. With 60 cows, we can't really make it all the way around the world, but we sell our milk to our local community, all neighbors and people who come around this area. And we also deliver to stores and restaurants in the local Portland metro area. So we sell every drop of milk we make. We don't have enough milk that we could ship it around the world. If we did, we might do that, but right now we're just trying to keep our community and local people having great fresh tasting milk that they don't have to drive very far to get. The cooler? Yeah. Inside or the, okay. Yeah, we'll walk around and we'll show you a view of our retail store where customers come when they drive up. We have a little retail store. It's open all day, every day. People just drive up, you come right in, and you can see all the milk is available to buy, and you can see all the bottles that people have returned that we'll reuse. We sell our neighbor's cheese. We have a friend that makes coffee. So there's a good selection of things you can come and buy, but mostly people come for the milk. And we sell a lot of milk right out of our cooler here. We're going to try and go around and see the baby calves and maybe see Juno for the classroom that has adopted her for the school year. We'll see if our signal will stay strong enough for us. Any other questions while we're transitioning back to the cute babies?
Yeah, so we have one that says, how old can cows get?
That's a great question. Our oldest cow on the dairy farm that we're still milking is 14. She's almost 15 years old, which is really old for a dairy cow. We haven't been able to get her bred in the last year, so she may be getting kind of past her prime where she's probably not going to have she's a really special cow, and I think we will keep her and just let her live out her days on our farm. She's still producing milk, even though she hasn't had a calf for a year, so we love her. But I think Traditionally, cows don't normally live that long and keep producing milk.
We have one more. We have another one that says, "How long are cows pregnant?"
9 months, same as people. They have a 9 month gestation, and we track their pregnancy, and we know pretty much the date that they're going to calve. So we will bring them down. These two little babes are our newest ones. One's a brown Swiss, one's a Holstein. Um, and this is our maternity pen where they were both born here. You can
How big
see
are
the
the
cute
babies
little
when they are born?
they're about 100 pounds. The smaller breeds like Jersey, they might be smaller, between 60 and 80 pounds, but that little brown Swiss you see standing there she's only a week old. So you can tell they're pretty big when they're born. If we can try and see if we can see Juno. She's right up here. Juno. She's kind of laying backwards to us. Juno. There she is. She's getting big. She's about 3 months, and she's about ready to transition to a group pen. So probably in the next week, she's going to come out of the small nursery pens, and she's going to go to a pen. She's pretty good at eating her hay now, and it's time for her to stop getting milk every day, and she'll go to a group pen and hang out with her other cow friends, probably about 4 or 5 other cow girlfriends.
We have
Um,
our last question that says, "How do you tell the difference between the breeds of cows?"
you can tell the difference by the coloring of the cows. Let's see. Donna right here is kind of a reddish brown. She's a Jersey cow. And then these two next to her, that's Norma and Navy. They're a little bit darker. They're brown Swiss. When you're around them every day, you can definitely see the differences. Jerseys are a lot smaller. Brown Swiss will get a lot bigger. Um, and the black and whites are Holsteins. They're pretty big girls, but you can easily tell the difference. Milking Shorthorn are kind of a red color. So just mostly looking at their color and their coat, you can tell what breed of cow they are. Any other questions?
Yes, we have a few more questions. What is the average weight, or how many hours do you work?
We work a lot of hours. So we kind of do shifts. We work in the morning to get all the milking done and all the babies fed and cleaned out. And then when that's all done, we kind of take a little bit of a break, maybe have lunch, run errands, do chores that we need to do at home. Then we come back out in the early afternoon, evening to get ready to feed all the cows again and milk them again in the evening. So we're done in the evening by about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, have dinner. And so being a dairy farmer is a lot of work. You have to be here every day to take care of the cows.
We have another one that says, "When is a cow considered an adult?"
She is considered an adult at 2 years old, about 2 years old, when she has her first calf. So that's when she's fully mature, she's producing milk, she becomes a mother, and then that would be like her transitioning to an adult.
We'll do a couple more. How much milk does a cow produce each day?
That's a great one. Our cows make between 3 and 5 gallons a day, and that's between milkings. Maybe they'll make 2 in the morning and they'll make 1 in the evening, or a little bit more than that. Um, we don't feed any grain to our animals. They're just forage fed. So that means they just get hay and haylage and pasture grass when they're out grazing. Cows can make a lot more milk than ours do. Uh, I've we I've heard of cows that can make 8 to 10 gallons a day, really good producing cows. But our cows are just pretty low because we don't add any additional grain.
All right, we have our last question. What is your favorite part of owning and operating the farm?
I I love being outdoors, so that part is really fun. I also love animals, especially I spend most of my time with the babies. I get to help them and bottle feed them when they're brand new and come up and check on them and make sure they're comfy and cozy. So I just love being around the cows. My second favorite part, I must say, is meeting all the customers that come out to our farm and telling them about what we do and introducing them to cows because I love to chat with people and talk to people and help them learn a little bit about dairying and about cows. So those are both my favorite parts of being on our farm.
Well, thank you so much, Casey, for taking time to talk with students about school about Schoch's Dairy. And thank you to all the students in classrooms joining us today. Have a great rest of your day.